verse 39. I'm talking about that junk ain't hurt no more, but the blood can't get out. Yeah, that's nothing but blood.
You been listening?
Absolutely, without question. I never stopped. Hey, I worked around it, did a couple things. Couldn't use the bar, use some stuff like this here, so I ain't had to do this here. But it's back at it like this here. Only part swole is the back of the nail, because
like your nail from the flower.
It's gonna come off, and that's when all the blood gonna come out.
And then when it's gonna come back, gone forever.
I already tried to do that. My nail was too thick. It didn't work. It's like 4 or 5 holes in my finger. Definitely did try that.
Definitely did.
Come on, John 5:39. Well, first and foremost, we give praise, esteem, and honor to the Most High Yah by way of Yahushua HaMashiach. John 5:39.
It says, search the scriptures, then if you think you have eternal life, and there they will testify of me.
Yeah.
You will not come to me that you might have life.
Yeah.
I receive not honor from men,
Yeah.
but I know you that you have not the love of Elohim in you.
Yeah.
I will come in my Father's name, you receive me not.
Yeah.
If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive.
Mm-hmm.
How can you believe would receive honor one of another, and seek not the honor that cometh from Elohim only?
So let's go back to Exodus chapter 23. Now, we done looked at Exodus 23 in 22 different ways. Does anybody remember the 2 ways that we looked at it? Does anybody know the 2 ways that we looked at it? Well, the first way that we looked at it was to show that angel is not Yahushua. It's impossible. Why is it impossible for that to be Yahushua? Why is it impossible? Because he can't forgive your sins. That's the first thing that you got to be able to know. That's because a lot of people believe that passage is talking about Mashiach, and it is not. Because he said, if you don't listen to him, he cannot carry, remove, or forgive your sins. You already know that an angel can't forgive sins. The law tell you who can forgive sins. It said Yahuwah could. When you turn around and you look at Mashiach and Matthew, he's telling people their sins are forgiven. They even asked him, how, being a man, can you forgive sins? And he said, because Elohim done gave me power on the earth. That's how you know that this ain't here. But last night, how did we look at it? We see that angel was actually foretelling John the Baptist, because John the Baptist came to prepare the way, and he couldn't forgive your sins. How do we know he couldn't forgive your sins? Because he was doing a baptism of repentance. You know what I'm talking about? He said somebody else was coming with a baptism of fire and with the Ruach HaKodesh, and he was going to be the one to forgive your sins. You know what I'm talking about? So now we will continue on. We're in verse 20. We just started verse 20 and see what we get from the rest of it.
23 and 20. Behold, I send a Malachim before thee to keep thee in the way, to bring thee into the place where I prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Beware of him.
Now pause. Now go on to get me John 14 and 1. So the master finna make a statement. Lee, that's Brandon.
What's up, Lee?
You left your husband to the house.
Why?
So we're just gonna do it a little different because I ain't hit this last night. John 14 and 1.
John 14 and 1. Let not your
Hold on,
heart...
pause. Did anybody know the word for Malachim? Do y'all know what it means? It's a messenger. You see Malachim does not always denote that this has to be a heavenly being. Does not have to necessarily, because you see that necessarily means that has to mean that is a literal, what we would say, angel. Because Malachim just means messenger. You got to remember, king is nothing but a shortened version of the same said word. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a messenger, an emissary. You know what I'm talking about? Anybody in this room can be a Malachim if you've been given a message and you got to relay it. By definition, you would be a Malachim at that particular point. Yeah, your man hung up.
That was your phone.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to look at it in that aspect. He hung up or you hung up? I ain't got time for this. Throw me off. So check it. So Mashiach, by definition, is a Malachim because he is a messenger, and he's going to prepare a way for us as well. Go ahead.
John 14 and 1.
they gonna have to work that out.
Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in Elohim, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go prepare a place for you.
He go to prepare a place for you. Now what? That's good. Now what did it say right this here? Into the place which Yahuwah has prepared. He prepared a place for you. Let's look at something in Hebrews chapter 11, verse 13. Sit down here.
Sit down, man.
Because you're going to fall here. You're going to fall here.
13.
11 and 13. Make it 11.
It says, through faith also Sarah herself received strength to conceive a seed, and was delivered of a child when she was past the age, because when she was past the age, she was delivered of a child when she was past the age, because she judged him faithful who had promised.
Yep.
Therefore sprang there even of one, and him as good as dead, so many as the stars of the sky in multitude, and as the sand which is by the seashore innumerable. These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but have seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them.
They were what?
They were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims of the earth. For they that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country. And truly, if they had been mindful of that country from whence they came out of, they might have had an opportunity to have returned. But now they desire a better country, that is a heavenly country, that is heavenly. Therefore Elohim is not ashamed to be called their Elohim, for he hath prepared for them a city. By faith Abraham, when he was tried, offered up Isaac, that he received the promises offered of his son, his only begotten son.
Phone messed up. Now you notice where he said that he promised them a country. What is this country that he promised them? Well, let's look and see in Genesis chapter 15 and pick me up at about verse 15, I suppose. Because I'm going to ask you a question. Was the land of Canaan already prepared for you? And if it was prepared for you already, what was already in it? No, that's just how it's described as the land of milk and honey.
It wasn't Gentiles all in the land before.
Yeah, but he said, I prepared a place for you. So what was in it? There were vineyards in it of which you did not plant. There were wells in it of which you did not dig. There were homes in it of which you did not build. You know what I'm saying? So this place was already prepared for you to come dwell. So then we have to look and see how New Jerusalem, because now we're looking at Exodus 23 and 20 in a different fashion, save the fact that Yahushua can forgive your sins. Because we're looking at a part of somebody prepared a way for you. The first part of it was to look at it to see that literally that's not Yahushua in Exodus 23. There's no way around that. That's not him. This man did not come and lead you in the land and then dip and then come back again and get killed and then dip again. Like it's too many times that people talking about this man was around here. He either was here in the flesh one time or he was not. Ain't no in between. That wasn't him. That's not him as being Melchizedek. He wasn't walking around here blessing Abraham and then let me go back to heaven and then come back. He didn't do all of that. You know what I'm saying? He only came one time. And when he come back, he only coming back one time. And I told y'all before, the funniest part for me is dudes that say King David is the Mashiach. You ridicule people because you say we believe in a man who died and resurrected from the dead, but yet you're telling me the same thing with a different person. You know what I'm saying? And somebody who's been dead for an extremely longer period of time. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not, if you pay attention, see, niggas don't pay attention when people be talking. Oh, King David is going to resurrect from the dead. So how do you ridicule me for saying that man did it and you're telling me you believe the same thing?
He did it in 3 days. And David
he did it in 3 days. David did it in 3,000. And you telling me that David is going to die, resurrect, go to heaven, and come back. Which one sounds dumber? Yours do. Which one sounds more plausible? The testimony of Mashiach sounds a lot more plausible. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot more plausible. Man came, he sacrificed himself, he went on high, and I'm going to wait till it's time for me to come back. You know what I'm saying? They can't even sit back and believe. They believe, regardless of David being a man after Elohim's own heart. That man sinned though. That man sinned though. And you can't get on around that. And his was a different type of sin because he thought it out and planned it, and he was being duplicitous in his nature. This man slept with another man's wife and put a plan together to kill that man to take his wife. That ain't no besmirching King David, but it is what it is though. That's what he did. You know what I'm talking about? And y'all say, I ain't gonna kill you. Oh, but better believe I'm gonna come see you though. I seen a dude arguing about something last night. He made a good point. Nigga said, we'll believe the Bible if you can show me such and such body. That nigga say, ain't nobody around here asking you niggas to show me Pharaoh body. Does that make Pharaoh any less real because you ain't got his body? Nigga say that's what records are for. Because I done told y'all before, the pyramids were two things. They were a place of worship and they were a funeral home. Because that's where they kept them dead bodies at. See, niggas try to make pyramids seem to be so deep, they not deep. Ain't nothing but maggots in them. Dead bodies and maggots. That's all them pyramids was for, is they cemeteries. They were a sepulcher, if you will. A mausoleum. That's all it was. And they worship their gods in them. You know what I'm saying? But they try to make it, they're so great structures and all the time. They ain't nothing but a death trap.
He was sacrificing.
Yeah.
So you said Hamashiach came one time, right?
Absolutely.
So who was it that came down with Moses?
That was an angel.
That was the Moses.
It tells you that. Like in that burning bush, it tell you that was an angel.
Bush. I'm talking about when he saw the backside of God, when he said with God face to face.
He saw Elohim. He didn't see Yahushua because he tell you that in Matthew 17 when he come back around and he seen Mashiach face to face.
Yeah, Moses didn't see y'all.
He didn't.
Saw the back part.
He said he didn't see Yahushua in that instance because he told you, I will let you see me. And then he fulfilled that word later in Matthew 17 because he let him see him. Like he looked him right in the face. Like on that tabernacle, who he was Moses and Elijah. And he kept his word to him.
Okay, because he said that, the Lord appeared to him and spoke with Moses face to face and they were friends.
Absolutely.
And Abraham seen the Lord too, and they ate.
They didn't say he saw you.
He said the Lord appeared unto Abraham.
When a lot of time when they say appeared, it don't actually be him. As forth as they mind, the person thinks that's who they seen. Like when you look at Samson, Samson's daddy and mama thought they seen Elohim. That was an angel they saw. They said the first thing came out their mouth, oh, we finna die. They thought it was you because you don't know, you ain't never seen him, you know what he looked like. So when you see a heavenly messenger, you gonna automatically think that's God. You know what I'm saying? Off the rip, because you ain't never seen him. But we got to sit back and look at it. If the text say that this man came one time, which it does, then all these other instances let us know that was not him. You know what I'm saying? And they perceive, because it said Elohim was in that burning bush. Then you go back and ask it said there was an angel in that bush. You know what I'm saying? So that wasn't him. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm talking about? But when they say that Elohim wrote that law with his finger, that was him, but that wasn't Mashiach though. He didn't actually see him, because then the word gonna be a lie. And then what is this man coming 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times for? You know what I'm saying? That man ain't do all of that. So that's what we had to look at. But basically, the main thing, knowing that wasn't him right here, because he said this angel can't forgive your sins. That lets you know that's not God. Because only he can do that. And a lot of our people, I heard a nigga say the other day, the nigga say you either gonna get down with Kemet or get down with Israel. Nigga didn't say get down with Yah. You know what I'm saying? That what people probably be at. Get down. I don't want to get down with Israel. Unless you talking about Israel, meaning power to rule as Elohim. Yeah, I get down with him. That's the difference. Come on, man. Where you at?
I'm at Genesis
15 and 15.
It says, and thou shalt go to thy fathers in Shalom, and thou shalt be buried in a good old age, and in the 4th generation they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. And it came to pass that when the sun went down, and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp that passed between those pieces.
Y'all should remember what that is. We don't have time to go through it right now.
And in the same day, Yahuwah made a covenant with Abram, saying, unto thy seed.
He made a what?
He made a covenant unto Abram.
Now pause. Let's see another place where he made a covenant. We come right back. Ezekiel chapter 37, about verse 23. Well, you got some more of that juicy in there, boy? Flavor? Yeah, I need some flavor.
Yeah. You said 37?
37-23. Make it 21. This gonna go back to what we were talking about last night with him saying that he had a staff and he went over Jordan or descended. Hello? Hello? Yeah. No, somebody else just called, so I was trying to see who that was, but I think I know who that is. And then he said that it became two companies, and if one got smited, they die, and if one escapes, they live. Go ahead.
37-21.
Yeah, tell me what you know.
It say unto them, thus said Yahuwah Elohim, behold, I will take the children of Yasharah from among the heathen, whether they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them to their own land.
You know what? That's funny because I'm thinking about what you was talking. I told you about this the other day. What you were talking about, and it coincide because we just talked to this Jewish lady outside. You know what I'm saying?
Mark.
Read that again and see what the text says that Yahuwah is going to do. No, I'm just saying because we did talk to a Jewish lady out the door. Just talked to the lady because she said, "How can you say nigga?" And I can't. I also did tell her, you can say a nigga, ain't gonna bother me none because I ain't no nigga. So you can say nigga all you wanna, ain't gonna bother me now. But I say the black person standing next to me might not take kindly to that. Might knock all the teeth out your mouth. And that's just the reality. I'm telling you, tell my little boy, we used to call him Cracker Ross. But he ain't hang with nobody but black people. He was about 13 at the time. And he used to say it. And I used to tell him, like, you know, Lil Ross, I don't care. It don't bother me. I say, but boy, you can't go out these talking like that. Them niggas gonna punch you in your face. Now, Lil Richie, he dead now though. He was like, man, you on that racist stuff. I say, no, y'all not prepping that man for the real deal Holyfield. Cause y'all cool with this man here on Atlantic Beach and ain't nobody gonna do nothing to him. But when he goes somewhere else and he be like, hey, what's up, my nigga? Pop, pop. Now he wonder why he getting his face bashed in. You know what I'm saying? Keep it real with that white boy and let him know, boy, you better be careful. Cause shoot, if I'm with another black person and they hear you say nigga and they want to hit you in your mouth, under black people rules and laws and applications, I can't stop it.
What? That's it. That's already cold. Yeah. You gotta wear that whooping.
Yeah, you got to wear that. Appreciate you, sir. You got to wear that. I can't tell him don't hit him cause he cool. No, you were cool with me to say it. You wasn't cool with him to say it. I warned you before you came around here.
I know it's probably stuff like that back in slavery too. Like.
Warned you about that before you came around here. You can't be around here talking about my nigga. Cuz don't know you for you to be calling him his nigga. Now you a nigga on the ground picking up your teeth. Talk about you was my friend. You were supposed to help me. No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. You gonna wear that whooping by yourself. I can't cross that code. Every black person know that code. You ain't in there, you could be down. I'm talking about that white boy could be your cousin. Oh, I told you about that, boy. I told you. That's what you tell him when you walk home. I told you about that. No, I can't help you. No, that's my cousin. You know you. I don't care cousin or not. You white. You know better. Every black person in this family told you can't be saying nigga outside this house.
That's worse. Like ignorant cracker, you might can let them pass. But if you run niggas all the time.
Oh, he got to wear that one there because you crossed that line. Cousin or not, you crossed the black people line. I'm black for him, anything.
Ain't be there to protect them forever, cuz.
Like, they just can't jump on him just to jump on him. But you can't be around here, screw you, nigga. I said Ado. I didn't say the ER. Yeah, you going to the ER. Hey. Even if he don't say it though, all they gonna look at it is he white. If they know you, they be like, well, you need to get your cousin.
Yeah, they gonna say that. He try to come like that. That's a problem.
Get your cousin.
But that's cool.
Cause I know a couple people who had white cousins. You know what I'm saying? How you get a white cousin? You know, through marriage, but either way, you know what I'm talking about? You know what it is. Watch your mouth, boy. Hey, boy, I know some. I mean, you ain't gonna have no white cousin through bloodline. Huh? Well, I mean, if you have white, you get a pass. Because you got nigga in you.
Nah, but he's saying, I'm half white. Like, you like a Drake type nigga. all your mama family they white, so you got white cousins. But I'm not white. I'm black.
Yeah, but see that's the difference because you got white cousins, but they ain't with the black people.
Yeah, you can't bring your cousins around black people and then he can say nigga and then nothing gonna happen. That's all that was being really said.
I'm gonna let him get stopped out, but you gonna learn today. You gonna learn today. You gonna learn today. Especially if I done told you. If I told you, right, we go around here on Florida Ave now.
Yeah, if I tell them off top.
Hey boy, don't be around here talking about my nigga this, my nigga that, cause the boy don't know you, they don't fool with you like that.
You messing up my face, I done brought you around there and I done told you.
And you right here talking about my nigga. Bop, 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 bop. Shoot, boy, I don't know you. Keep that nigga too.
Oh, Lord.
Go ahead, man. Ezekiel 37:21, man. Go ahead, man.
It said, moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick. Right.
Taking what?
37. And they said unto them, thus says Yahuwah Elohim.
Thus say who? Hold on, we need to know who talking. Who talking?
Thus says Yahuwah Elohim. Behold, I will take the children of Yasharah from among the heathen.
From among who?
The heathen.
Now we gotta sit back and look at something and be historical. And May. Hey, you need to mute your phone, it's echoing. In May 1948, the United Nations took the so-called Israeli people and put them in the land of Palestine. The land of Palestine, previous to 1948, was under British control. All you gotta do is go read a book. It's there. That's who controlled Palestine in the night during World War II. It was the United Kingdom. It was Britain. You know what I'm saying? At the conclusion of World War II, they took those Jewish people and put them there. Now the text says Yahuwah would take them from amongst the heathen and place them there. Man put them there. And there's no way around that. You could spin it, skin it, however you wanna, but if you have a brain and reading comprehension, you will see that Yah did not do that. It's a simple fact. Sometimes you just gotta deal with facts. Them crackers lie. So clearly, according to the text, you're not who you say you are. Clearly, cracker, you lying. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem. Like she said she was Jewish. If she tried to press it, I would have told her, clearly someone's lying. This is Old Testament, the part they say they believe in. Because they say they don't believe in the New Testament. Majority of Jewish people do not. You know what I'm saying? So this is the part that you believe. Screw who the real Israelites is. We're not even going to deal with who the real Israelites are. I know you're not. Because the text speaks against you. You know what I'm saying? Straight up no.
Like I was telling the Lord, I told him, I said, you know, how he gonna place them in the land and only give them a piece of the land?
I ain't even worried about no peace. I don't even care nothing about no peace.
Yeah.
Man put you there. Now this is not the first time I've ever said this. It just happened to what we talking about the place that I prepared for you. This is the only reason why we're discussing it now, because it's relevant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You did not, Yah did not put you there. Man put you there. Ain't no pastor. Oh, man put you there. Man put you there. Do your research. 1948, the United Nations put them there. Palestine was under British control. This is common knowledge. We're sitting in the library right now. You can walk right over there to the history section and find it. Screw the internet. You ain't got to Google. Go buy a book. Go get a book. Go ahead.
It says, whether they be gone, I will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land. Mm-hmm. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Yasharah, and one king shall be to them.
Where they king at?
And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms.
And the whole nation of Yasharal is going to be there. Not living in America, not living in Europe, not living in Asia, not living in Africa. All of them going to be there.
Neither shall they defile themselves anymore with their idols.
Now they will no longer worship other gods.
Nor with their detestable things.
No sin either.
Nor with any of their transgressions.
Pause. Let's just see if the book backs this up. Psalms 101 and verse 7, and then Revelation chapter 21 and verse 24. So when we look at the kingdom, there will be, because you got niggas saying niggas gonna be sinning in the kingdom. I don't know what you're looking crazy for, because the niggas read Ezekiel chapter 4 and they see they gonna be making sin offerings and this type of offerings, so people gonna be sinning. Yeah, you got niggas saying people gonna be having sex in the kingdom.
7 wives.
7 wives. Niggas say he gonna smoke a doobie with Elohim.
It's the healing of the nation.
Healing of the nation. Well, you gotta watch a nigga when a nigga say weed, the healing of the nations. That nigga a drug addict. Ain't no righteous person gonna open their mouth and say weed is for the healing. Just slap that nigga with a, I'm talking about a stupid stick. Rasta believes a lot of things. Well, you too big for that. Get it together. Get it together. Nobody playing with you. Go ahead.
Psalms 101.
Give me verse 5.
Whoso privily slander his neighbor, him I will cut off. Him that have a high look and a proud heart will not I suffer. Mine eyes shall be upon the faithful of the land, they may dwell with me, that he walketh in a perfect way, he shall serve me.
What else?
He that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house.
They won't live there.
He that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight. I will early destroy all the wicked off the land, that I may cut off wicked doers from the city of Yahuwah.
Woo! The city. Now, matter of fact, now, because we talking about going to the place that he prepared for you. Hamashiach said, in my father's house there's many mansions. I go to prepare a place. So now the last aspect that we dealing with in Exodus 23, and we'll be done with it, is the place that he prepared and getting there. And what will be there. You understand what I'm telling you? Because he told you if you obey his voice of that Malachim or that messenger who he sent, then you will get there. If you don't obey, you're not going to get there. And the reason why I told y'all if y'all don't obey is because you're not listening with the intent to do it. Or as he said, you hear my name, but you have forgotten me days without number. I told you last night, right? I'll use this scenario again. If you're married, and you could, I don't care how long you've been married, you may see someone you might find physically attractive. The difference is that you will not react on the fact that you find this woman to be physically appealing, and vice versa for that woman. Because ain't nobody gonna sit back and be like, I ain't see a woman I felt like she was attractive. You lying. You know what I'm saying? The difference is you're not gonna act on that. You know what I'm talking about? Because at the end of the day, somebody can sit back and tell you that, yeah, you can marry somebody and there's always somebody who has more money than you. There's always somebody that looks better than you. But it's who you are inwardly, that what you offer to this person, that causes them to pick you over 7 billion other people. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people end up in whoredom, because they always chasing, looking for this and looking for that, and then overlooking when there was something good right in front of their face. You know what I'm saying? Because you wanted this, and you had an illusion of what you want. That's how a lot of people end up alone and miserable when they older. You know what I'm saying? But you look at that woman and you say, I could cheat on my wife. But if you sleep with this woman, you're going to lose your wife. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't lose their wife. Some women sit around and just take it. Some men sit around and just take it. But the aspect of looking at it, now let's take it spiritually and you in the word. Now, the book says if a man find a wife, he find a good thing. Meaning, we already know according to law, the woman was given to the man as a gift. This is your gift. So now you're going to dookie on the gift that Yah gave you and lose the gift and him. So when you think about what you can lose, see, our ancestors, when he told them, if you break my law, this is what you're going to lose. And they didn't consider that when they went to break it. Anytime we go, a lot of dudes, when they go to commit crimes, they don't consider, I'm going to lose my freedom. Or they don't consider when they start beefing with a nigga, I could lose my life. Or my family members could lose their life. Because you know some niggas, and it's been done in this city numerous times, some niggas will go shoot your people house up. And they shooting your people house up to get you to come out. Because they know if I come shoot your mama house up, then you'll come out and I can catch you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of niggas do that. You think a nigga just be shooting people house up just to shoot it up? I already know I shoot his mama house up. I bet he come out now. I bet he come out. Then I can kill this nigga. You know what I'm saying? My homeboy that's on death row, that's why they did it. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas robbed him, stripped him butt naked in front of the women, and shamed him and embarrassed him. You know what I'm saying? So he felt like, I'm going to go shoot his people house up. You know what I'm saying? And that'll make that nigga come out. But it didn't go down that way. Because they killed somebody. You know what I'm saying? And now they on death row. Well, one of them on death row, and the other two got life sentences. You know what I'm saying? But that's what people do. But they didn't consider what they could lose. Nor did the man who robbed them consider what he could have lost. Because we don't consider none of that because we go off the impulse of how we feeling at the time. You know what I'm saying? Instead of actually weighing out. Like I told you, your anxiety should be children. Not today, sir. Not today. A lot of times we don't sit back and look at how would you literally feel to be separated from Yah. Because that should, like I say, remove hell out of the equation. I can't get to Yah no more. I'm separated from Yah. How would that make you feel?
All right, go get your cup.
And then that's how you should consider things before you make decisions. You know what I'm saying? If I do this, I lose Yah. Is that decision worth that loss? It's not. It's definitely not. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, sir. Yeah, I need. No, before you go to Revelation, man, give me Psalms 104 and 35. And after that, Proverbs chapter 1, if I'm not mistaken, and pick me up at verse 23.
104 and 35.
I'm just trying to hit the point of there will be no sinners in this place. You know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna be no sinners in this place. Well, that ain't even real.
Hush.
Just go to sleep. See, y'all ain't here to put you to sleep. That fake mad face, you want to fight? Yeah, don't close your eyes then.
It said, let the sinners be consumed out of the earth, and let the wicked be no more. Baruch thou Yahuwah, O my soul, and praise ye Yahuwah. Hallelujah.
He said praise y'all to get the sinners out of the earth. That's strong right there. That's a strong statement. Let's go to Proverbs 1 and 23. Now we talking, and then we got to look at Ezekiel 40. We're going to deal with the city of Yah, because this is the place that's prepared, because he just said in my father's house there's many mansions. What is the father's house? It's New Jerusalem. So let's try to look at a snippet or a picture of what this place would look like. Because he said it was already prepared for you, did he not? All right. It's already prepared.
Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my ruach.
He told you to do what? He told you to turn at his reproof.
I will pour out my ruach unto you, and I will make known my words unto you.
So the key thing is, if you turn at his correction, he'll pour his spirit out. We just talked about last night what he said you had to do to get the ruach. You had to obey him. So he told you need to turn at his correction. He'll pour that spirit on you, and then his words will be known unto you. That means they'll pause. Give me 2 Corinthians chapter 3. I think your homeboy hung up. Or your phone hung up. 2 Corinthians 3 and 3.
It says, for as much as you were manifestly declared to be the epistle of the Mashiach ministered by us, written not with ink, but the ruach of the living Elohim, not in tables of stone, but in fleshly tablets of the heart.
Not on what?
Not on tables of stone, but fleshly tables of the heart.
So it's got to be written right here or right here. See, that's what people's problem is, right? We know a lot of people be like, you know, you don't got to keep the law or keep the law to the best of your ability and all of these other things. But he said when you turn to his correction, he'll put John 6 and 63. If he gonna pour his spirit out on you and make his word, what words do you think he gonna make known unto you? He gonna make this word be known unto you. The book said the word was made flesh, so therefore he's gonna make Yahushua known unto you. This is what the master meant in John 15 when he say the comforter will bring all things to your remembrance what I have spoken unto you. Because this would be the ruach being poured upon you because you turned in his correction. We're not receiving the ruach because you're not turning at the correction. You're not listening. We'll go back to what he told you when he said beware. That's the Hebrew word for listen, for hear, obey, hearken. Is this the same thing he's saying right there? Listen. If you actually was to go and look in that law, you would see too many times where he told you to listen. And we know what Paul wrote in Romans chapter 10, faith come by hearing and hearing come by the word. So these people, this is why he said they didn't believe or trust in the salvation of Yahuwah because they weren't hearing, they weren't listening, they were not intending on doing anything that they heard. And if you're not intending on doing it, what's the purpose of listening to it? That doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? People have divergent teachings of the word all across the earth. You know what I'm saying? But we know it's only one way. How do we know it's only one way? Because he said that in Jeremiah. I will give them one heart and one way. It's not it said it's only one body, one immersion, one Elohim. That means somebody's doctrine is wrong. So somebody is preaching is wrong. And it's not no light thing to take, because that means somebody's life is on the line. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can say, okay, you ran across them niggas. All them niggas want to do is argue. So they don't really consider that not only is their life on the line, the person they talking to life is on the line, everyone who's standing around listening life is on the line. Everybody who clicks on your video life is on the line. When you look at most One West dudes videos, they videos are just snippets of something to get you to click. Because the title will always be something that's dramaed out. You're not getting any edification or salvation under this. But niggas who like drama will be drawn to that. Oh, that nigga smashed that nigga on the street, bro. He cut that nigga up. And a nigga will inquire and end up an idiot like them. You know what I'm saying? Or conversely, you'll have Christians knocking on people's doors, standing in the street, telling people something that makes them feel good, but then consequently, this is not going to actually get my soul saved. Because if we just read in what? Well, we even finished Proverbs. We just read in Psalms 104, the sin is going to be wiped out the land. You just read in Ezekiel 37, ain't no sin going to be in the land. You just seen in Psalms 101, ain't no sin going to be in the land. Now, when we swing to Revelation to confirm it, you know what I'm talking about? Just a New Testament so nobody can't open their mouth and say this, that, and the third. And we have a problem. You know what I'm saying? When we have a problem, because on both sides, whether they say they're Hebrew or whether they say they're Christian, they telling people it's cool to be a sinner. And that you still gonna get in here. You know what I'm saying? And you're not getting in there because the text says different. It's not my personal opinion. The text says different. So if the text say different, what are we supposed to go with? Are we supposed to go with what makes us feel good or what the text actually says? Because if the text say nothing despicable, nothing abominable, no idols, then that's what it is. That's not getting in here. That's not happening. And we have to determine, is New Jerusalem going to be a city of this place? Because he said he prepared. Why did your ancestors not get into the place that was prepared for them? They sinned. Those who sinned not, guess what happened? They got in. So what you think going to happen the second time around? Y'all don't change. Ain't nothing coming different. Come on, man. Keep on going to Proverbs chapter 1. Huh? That is absolutely, that's disbelief.
That ain't what they preach on the street. They ain't teaching no faith.
Oh no, they ain't teaching no faith on the street. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely not. They ain't teaching none of that. That's why you hear niggas say Israel, 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 Israel all the time. I seen a dude the other day say Israel, we under attack because Christian apologetics are poking holes in Israel. Why is Israel under attack? You should be saying Yahuwah is under attack. You know what I'm saying? It's always carnal centric. Fleshly centric. You know what I'm saying? So I understand when I hear some Christian apologetics say what they say because the doctrine is fleshly centered. You know what I'm saying? It is carnally centered. Your whole teaching is based around the fact that a group of people are Israel and Yahuwah is never esteemed in nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's always about the laws, and Yahusha and Yahuwah is not esteemed in nothing. See, he excited. He know. Ain't that right, man? My man. Go ahead.
Proverbs. Said Proverbs, right?
You still in Proverbs 1? You read verse 23.
You had something else.
What was that, John? John 6.
I got John.
Yeah, John 6 and 63. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it, John. It said, it is the ruach that quickeneth, for the flesh profit is nothing.
It's the what?
The ruach that quickeneth, and the flesh profit is nothing.
And the words?
And the words that I speak with you, they are ruach and they are life.
It's the same thing that Solomon is speaking of. Yeah. He ain't on another, I'll tell you that. Ain't nobody on another. So, the words that I speak unto you, they are what? They are ruach and they are life. Go ahead. Go back to Proverbs 1.
It said, I will.
This service is provided in high definition.
It said, turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my ruach upon you, and I will make known my words unto you.
He'll make known his words unto you. Go ahead.
Because I have called, and you refused.
You what?
You refused.
What he told you. You didn't want to listen in Exodus chapter 23.
I have stretched out my hand, and no man has regarded.
Now, spiritually, what does this mean? We dealt with this before. He stretched out his hand and no man regarded it. What is this? When he was stretched out on the stake and you still didn't want to listen. Let's see why. Give me 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 4. Make it 5. 4 is good. See, and that's what people not doing right now. Hamashiach being preached, they still ain't listening. It's no different like what you encountered. It's no different than what the scribes and what the apostles encountered then. They may say they believe in Yahushua, but they don't actually want to actually hear anything about it. But you got to understand why they don't. You have to understand human behavior. If I've been taught a particular doctrine from a particular individual, then this is the only way that I'm going to view the word. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody comes with something different, especially something that is diametrically opposed to anything I've ever been taught, then they're not trying to receive that. They're not trying to receive that. They're not trying to hear that. Because let's just be honest, it's not, and this is not no boasting, this is reality. It's not too many people that are coming saying the whole book is about Yahushua and this means this and this means that and this means this. So that's drastically different than what they've been told. I know a dude a couple years back that I had a conversation with him, and when I told him that the whole book was about this man, that man said that is utterly ridiculous to believe the whole book is about Jesus Christ. And this man teaches the word right now to this day. And he's very well known amongst many, many Hebrews. You know what I'm saying? But that was his response. Because that's not the teachings that he got. And he never got that. He's never heard that. So you sound crazy to him. Another dude talking about you trying to bring some deep hidden mystery. This dude was the head of GOCC. Like 3rd or 4th in command. You know what I'm saying? I ain't get offended at their words. I know that this is not readily spoken. So your responses, I'm ready for. I know that you're going to resist that. You never heard that before. And you've been teaching for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Now, them niggas probably not. But you've been teaching for a long time. So you feel like, can't nobody come show me something because my elder didn't show me that.
That's what they got.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, but a lot of people are like that. They poke at Christian people for doing the same thing that they do. Instead of saying my pastor said, they say my elder said. Because they feel like that he wouldn't tell them nothing wrong or teach them nothing wrong. And if there was something to be learned or known, he would have told them. Yeah, that too. You know what I'm saying? And that's
really good. They'll use the word to say that you gotta listen to them.
You know what I'm saying? But in actuality though, if you are part of an organization, you're supposed to listen to them. And you're supposed to obey them. Like there's nothing wrong with that. They use it more likely for the means of control. You know what I'm saying? To dictate what I want you to do, when I want you to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because our laws tell you that. You're supposed to listen to the priests. You're supposed to listen to the prophets. And you're supposed to follow their directives as long as they don't take you outside the bounds of the word. You know what I'm saying? But what their mind is, if my elder didn't teach me that, it can't be taught. It can't be known. You know what I'm saying? That's why they have a problem with, say they have a problem with Quad, because Quad was a part of One West, then he slide out of that, and he's teaching something different than them. So them niggas have a problem with that, because he still deal with dudes who come from that thought process. You know what I'm saying? So it's always going to be conflict. I don't deal with none of them niggas, so it's not an issue. You know what I'm saying? I care less. But it's a lot of niggas who feel like when you off the rip say that every verse and every line is about this man, people think that is utterly insane. You know what I'm saying? And they know that Psalms 40:7 say, "Lo, I come in the volume of the book." They know he say, "Search the scriptures for in the." They know all of that, but it doesn't resonate in their mind because it takes the focus off of them and puts it on Elohim where it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Individuals want the focus to be on we the children of Israel. And now what? You know what I'm saying? They take, we need to build a nation, we need to build schools, we need to build this. Okay. When you gonna build a household of faith though? When you gonna build that? When you gonna build a household of righteousness? And then all this other stuff that we like to do, he'll add that on. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing for him to do. I done told like this here, right? He got kids. You got kids. You got kids. You got kids. As a man, the book say you don't gotta ask your father what you need. He say he already know what you need before you even ask him for. You know why? Because you buying everything. Ain't nowhere in the world no man should ask, what do my kids need? Y'all don't have to ask you what you need. He already know you need shelter. He already know you need clothes. He already know you need shoes. He already know you need food. I am abreast of that. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, we know in the construct of reality, your wife may tell you, hey, kids need this right here. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're going to be practical with it. But as forth as in reality, if your woman got to tell you your child need clothes, you ain't doing something you're supposed to be doing. She ain't supposed to have to tell you that. You should already know that. If we talking about being like Elohim, he already know what you need. He said you ain't even got to ask him for it. He said you ain't got to ask me for it. What did he tell you to do though? To go after Elohim in his righteousness. I give you all of that. Because it's real easy to get caught up in that. Everybody in here know it. You go to stressing. Why these bills need to be paid? Especially if you got kids. I got to feed these niggas. You know what I'm talking about? I got to feed this woman. I got to pay the rent. You know what I'm saying? That's natural. You're human. You know what I'm saying? But then you have to remember, just let me seek Yahuwah, which is the what? Sacrifice yourself to enter into the house or the door, depending on which words you're going to use. You know what I'm talking about? And he'll give you whatever you need. All you got to remember that is with Solomon. What did Solomon do? He asked for wisdom. Y'all say you ain't asked me for your enemy's head. You didn't ask me for silver and gold. I give you all that. Because you sought me first. So I'm going to add that on to you. Come on, man. Because it is 4 o'clock. Yes, Timothy 2 and 4. 2 Timothy.
It says, no man that war entangled himself with the affairs of this life, that he may be pleased with him who has chosen him to be a soldier. And if any man also strive for masteries, yet he is not crowned except he strive lawfully. The husbandman that laboreth must be first partaker of the fruits.
You got a what?
Must be first partaker of the fruits. Consider what I say, and the master gives thee understanding in all things. Remember that Yahushua Mashiach of the seed of David was raised from the dead according to my gospel, wherein I suffer trouble as an evildoer, even unto the bond, but the word of Elohim is not bond. Therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also attain the salvation which is in Yahushua Mashiach, eternal esteem. It is a faithful saying, for if we all be dead in him, we shall also live with him.
Yeah.
If we suffer, we shall also reign with him.
Yeah.
If we deny him, he shall also deny us.
What up?
If we believe not, yet he abideth faithful, he cannot deny
See, he ain't
himself.
going to deny himself just because you don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of people think, that because you don't believe it, then that just makes it null and void. But you notice these things say you got to suffer with him, you'll reign with him. And what does he say you got to do?
He said, if you suffer, you shall reign. If we deny him, he will deny us.
So if you reject him, he will reject
And
you.
if you believe not, yet he abide faithful, he cannot deny himself. So
See,
these things
that's
put
good.
in
That's
remembrance.
put in remembrance.
Charging them before Yahuwah that they were the master, that they strive not about words nor to profit, but to subverting of the hearer.
See, that's the key thing why I tell you sometimes I don't care about arguing with them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Read that part again. That's why a lot of times I done told you, man, I won't talk to that nigga.
It says these things put them in remembrance, charging them before the master that they strive not about words to no profit.
And this something that you learn over time. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get that in the first 6 months. That's something you learn over time. That I'm not finna argue or contend with you with words and ain't nobody going to get no gain from it, and it messes up the people who are listening. See, look at it, right? Because I know how he feel. When you see them niggas, you feeling like you trying to help the people who are around who are listening, but sometimes you could actually be causing more damage to the people who listening because they see these people striving about with words and ain't nobody getting no gain or edification from it. So then at that point it begins that we doing this for our own ego, and then you have to walk away. You know what I'm saying? You got it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can start the conversation with the nigga, but once you see this nigga trying to take it here, you got it.
Nah, there was nobody there. They was just going on. They was just
Oh, I know 9 times out of 10 dealing in Jacksonville, Florida, ain't nobody studying this nigga with this. Who is this nigga with this funny looking nigga on his shirt? These little tassels at the bottom of his shirt standing at the gas station. This nigga on 45th. You think these niggas stud this nigga standing out here with this microphone on 45th?
And ain't got no rocks.
Nigga ain't got no rocks, no weed, no hole, no nothing.
So you got
Microphone. Doing it new because you gotta remember, right? If we was in New York or we was in Chicago or we were in LA or a certain place or even where you from, where people gather and but see they not downtown, they was in the hood. You know what I'm talking about? Them niggas in the hood ain't studying you. Nigga might stop by. What y'all boy talking about? You know what I'm saying? But other than that, you talking about getting a crowd of people having a back and forth, and that's not gonna happen. Not here. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's an event, that's not happening. Nigga don't want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying?
That's how they was doing Saturday though. They was hitting homecoming and
Yeah, they not
like big events where
people gonna be. Yeah, that's why I've been told you that. That's how our city is. You can go in the hood. If you gonna go in the hood and rap, man, them niggas got to see you around there all the time. And not just out there doing that. Like, they got to see you out there all the time. And you have to, like, pull nigga to the side one-on-one, key with them, talk to them, build with them. But all that, we are the children of Israel. Read John 14:30. That nigga like, who this stupid nigga here, man? Where you find this nigga at? That nigga finna bring the police around here, bro. I'm finna shoot one of them niggas.
This nigga definitely got the block out.
Cause that's how a nigga feel. Do you know what I'm saying? But a lot of times niggas just ignore them and walk past them. And also their approach. How they come at niggas. Boy, nigga put hands on you, bro. You know what I'm saying? We seen what happened with little cuz out there downtown. Who was all around that cuz came around there holding his jaw?
Oh, yeah. Got stuck.
Cuz got split. You know what I'm saying? Why he got split, I don't know. It's pure speculation. My personal opinion is you was out there running your jibber jabber to the wrong nigga with that word. And you thought nigga wasn't gonna hit you in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, this Jacksonville, Florida. These niggas gonna put hands on you. You know what I'm talking about? Then them homeless people down there too, they frustrated.
They do the women worse.
Oh, what? We was out there nigga going off on that white woman. Now what if that woman man would have came around that corner and ooped you up? I'd have let him too. I'd let him too. I wouldn't even stop it. That's what you get. You gonna learn to stop talking about people, women. Not that man, old lady. Shoot, that's his smelly monkey. You leave that man alone. You know what I'm talking about? For real though, them boys talk reckless. It was one time, boy, I was out there with a nigga about 3-4 years ago. Called me all type of name. I said, come on, bro, you ain't gotta talk to me like that. Well, I talk to you the way I want to talk to you. And you know what I'm saying? And I ain't nobody to do it, but I'm like, boy, I'm finna slap the fire from this nigga. This nigga say one more thing, boy, I'm finna slap this nigga. Cause this nigga just done disrespected me. I asked you nicely. You know what I'm saying? I ain't sure you F this and no, I'm like, come on, my nigga, you gonna talk to me like that? I ain't talking to you like that. I say, nah, that ain't gonna be the just thing to do to slap fire from this nigga, though he deserve it. You know what I'm saying? But what if I ain't had no word and no self-control? This nigga finna get dummied up right here in front of all your friends. You know what I'm talking about? On camera. You gotta go home. What happened to you? Oh, reprobate nigga swung on me. Now nigga supposed to be standing right there. Tell that nigga why that nigga hit you. Tell the truth, nigga. You were talking. You know what you did. I bet when that nigga went home with his jaw swole up the size of a grapefruit, I bet he told both a lie. Nigga hit me for no reason. You know I was dropping that truth on him. He couldn't take it. So I'm being persecuted. They persecute the prophets. You know what I'm talking about? What? That nigga jaw was abnormal. I ain't even know a nigga jaw can get swole. I thought if a nigga broke your jaw, it would swell a little bit. That nigga looked like Kanye after that accident.
He might have bit down though.
He might have did. That nigga jump was whoa.
That
nigga rock. That nigga ain't probably been the same. I bet every time that nigga went out to preach, get me Proverbs 5:50. What you say? I'll talk to you later. Stupid bastard. Come on, man. Well, I got you, man. Yeah, we done with Timothy, man. You come back to Proverbs 1. Verse 25, I believe. That nigga out of it. For real though, man, you can't be out there talking. He standing and say the dude told him, see you sitting. You got your head covered while I'm prophesying to you. And nigga say, nigga, if he prophesying, he supposed to uncover his head, not while you talking to him, nigga. I said, boy, these niggas crazy. But no, all seriousness, so you have to remember that. If you know the striving about with words, will cause contention and subvert the hearer, you gotta let it alone. See, now when we spoke with them GMS dudes, we ain't strive about with no words. Them niggas was challenging on what we was talking about. So you telling me prove this and prove that, you have asked a very, very small. You know what wrong with you, man? Why niggas always go to Mashiach giving birth? That's the first thing a nigga want to hit a nigga with when we catch a nigga in the street. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna be ready for that. That's a hard thing to tell somebody. He male and female at the same time and gave birth. That's a hard thing.
I told the Lord said, man, at this point, man, you can never have another discussion.
You can't tell somebody. You got to be able to prove
You
that.
can never have a discussion with you.
And shoot, praise the Lamb. Shoot, that nigga said that like that would hurt my feelings. Shoot, did me a favor. I ain't want to talk to that nigga no way. I seen the video that nigga had them on him, boy. That nigga like, woo, woo. What's wrong with this nigga? That nigga hit the Ric Flair while he called himself preacher. Woo, woo.
I need to be preaching.
Yeah, the Lord said want to preach now. You ready to preach now? I said go and preach on, brother. Preach on. Preach on. Preach on. Proverbs, man, wherever you left off at. I believe it with verse 25.
It say, but ye have set at naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof.
You wouldn't take that correction.
I also will laugh at your calamity.
You do what?
I will laugh at your calamity.
What else will he do?
I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind. When distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I shall not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me.
You're not gonna find me.
For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of Yahuwah. They were none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Therefore shall I eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them.
That's good. That wasn't what I wanted. It might be chapter
But
2.
whoso hearken unto me shall dwell safely.
Whoso
and shall
what?
be quiet from the fear of evil.
He said, who that hearken unto me will do what?
Dwell safely.
Now when we look at, and let's go look at Hebrews chapter 3, and pick me up about verse 17. So those who actually hearken to the word will actually rest in Yahuwah. There's a lot of people not going to rest in it because they're not listening. I told you this the other day, it's not a knowledge thing, it's a heart thing. You have to allow that word to actually change you. It's the reason why he say you got to be born again. It's the reason why he say you need a new heart and a new spirit. So if you find yourself not being transformed by the word, it ain't but one reasonable explanation for it. Your faith is not where it's supposed to be at. It is pretty much scant or non-existent. You know what I'm saying? Because it's supposed to change you. Change your thought process, change your actions, change your words. You know what I'm saying? That's just the bottom line. I mean, I can't sugarcoat it. Ain't no other way to explain it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's literally supposed to change you. You know what I'm talking about? And if our thoughts and our ways are not changing, that means we're not taking this man's counsel. We're not hearkening to his correction. And then therefore the man is going to laugh at you and mock you. Go ahead, man.
Hebrew.
Yeah, give me Hebrews 3 and 15. We got to come back to Proverbs because we didn't hit what I want.
It said, while it is said, today if you hear my voice, hearten not your heart.
Listen.
As in the provocation.
In the
For
provocation.
some, when they had heard, did provoke. Howbeit, not all that came out of Mizraim by Moses, but with whom he was grieved for 40 years.
Who was he grieved with?
Was it not them that had sinned,
It was those who didn't listen.
whose carcasses fell in the wilderness?
They fell in the wilderness. They didn't get in that place.
And to whom swear he that they should never enter to his rest, but to them that believe not?
So then, right, those that believe not
because
didn't listen.
of unbelief.
They didn't get in because they didn't believe, because they didn't listen, they didn't hearken. Now give me Proverbs 2 and 21, because that's what I want. You got food all on your shirt, man. Your mama's not going to appreciate that. Your mama's not going to appreciate that. Eat that big boy.
It says, for the upright shall dwell in the land, and
The who will dwell there?
shall remain in
The perfect shall remain in it.
But the wicked shall be cut off from the earth, and the transgressor shall be rooted out of it.
They're not going to be there. Let's look at something Hamashiach said in Matthew chapter 13 and verse 37, I believe.
It says, he answered and said unto them, he that soweth good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world, and the good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one.
Who remembers in Greek what tares actually means and what's its representative of? It actually means something that is black or black-hearted, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So when you looking at wheats and tares, as we read that 2 Corinthians 3:3, it said that that word would be written on fleshly tables of the heart. So if you have a black heart or a disobedient, evil heart, then that word cannot rest there. And that's how you're a tare. Meaning basically you're a hearer of the word, but not a doer because your heart ain't right.
No light in you.
Because there's no light in you, because your heart's not right. Go ahead.
It says, the enemy that sows them is the adversary, and the harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the Malachim. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be at the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth Malachim, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them that do iniquity, and cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth.
And that's what we want to avoid.
But then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Whom have ears, let him hear.
He that have what?
Ears, let him hear.
He that have ears. And again, you know, I told you that last night, right? When we looked at blessed is he that shall not be offended in me. Does anybody remember that Greek word for offend? What did it mean? It meant somebody who you stop trusting and obeying. Someone that who you hold with indignation. Someone who you will not allow him to have authority over you. So when he's saying blessed is he that continues to trust and obey me. Blessed is he that continues to allow me to have authority over him. You know what I'm saying? Not just looking at it, because when you see English meaning offended meaning you said somebody didn't like. But he's saying, in actuality, it's saying somebody who you continually trust and obey. And trust and obey going right. This going to get Romans 10 and 13, man. Make it 10 and 11. It's going back to this key point. Y'all know for the key point component that I've always preached from the time I started with faith. Faith take care of everything else. Takes care of everything else. Everything else will follow in that footstep.
Is it Romans 10?
And 11. Without faith, you have nothing. Well, and like I say, y'all willing, we're going to get to it soon. I want to say the first time it is mentioned is in Deuteronomy, but I could be incorrect. And if I have to skip it up a notch to get to that particular point because it's in my head, I'm going to do so. But with that rock, and him saying Yahuwah is a rock, that means that's something that is solid. You know what I'm saying? Solid. And all of us, if you think about characteristics of a rock, what's the first thing you're going to think about?
Solid.
Johnny, what you think about it first? You hear rock, what's the first thing come to your head? Just the first thing.
Strong.
Lee, what about you, Lee? When you hear the word rock, what's the first thing come to your mind? What about you, Brandon? We'll come back to you, Lee. We'll come back. What about you, Dwight? What do you say?
In the way.
Sky.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
I figured that would come. What about you, Muffin?
Like
Heavy? Go ahead, Mom. Alicia? What? You shouldn't have been playing on your phone.
You said strong.
Strong. You ain't say it like you meant it.
Strong.
You said that like you was on the toilet. Go ahead, Kevin. You know how you be sounding when I just hear you being straight? They told you.
I need to sound like that because I'm going to talk like kind more.
Go ahead, Callie.
Hard.
I knew somebody was saying that.
What about you, Darren?
Hard.
He said he think about Peter. You know, Kira and Deidre, y'all can add something if you so choose. DC and Dap as well. Oh, yeah, Shayla over there. I forgot you had your little phone lit up. Shayla don't want to talk. She don't feel right. Who you tell? Well, they don't want to add nothing. But we're going to look at that and look in the word of all the attributes that he ascribes to that. Because he tells you to ascribe greatness to your rock. You know what I'm saying? Especially in Deuteronomy 32. You know what I'm talking about? And he's repeatedly called a rock in that passage. You know what I'm saying? and that's for a reason. When you look at that, if you dealing with the word, you supposed to be rock solid. You know what I'm saying? The attributes that pertain to a rock should be fitting to your character, because that means your character would be fitting to Yahuwah. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say that. But at the end of the day, the objective is to fit to Yahuwah, not fit to man, not fit to yourself, not fit to other people. You got anything for us, Lee? You know, Lee doesn't like participating in group activities. It's okay. We'll move on. Maybe come back.
You ever still read in class and like middle school?
Well,
I didn't participate.
we know Lee didn't participate. Lady told you gonna get an F if you don't stand up here and read. Lee like this here. Well, what's wrong with your F writing? I ain't caring nothing about the class anyway. Shoot, I ain't paying for it. I still got a C in the class. I'm a pass.
Yeah, that's how participation is to me.
That what you
You
say?
have straight A's. You got every participation, you gonna get that C every time. That's how C's get degrees and diplomacies.
So I don't care nothing about all that.
And the poker series.
Straight up.
Where we at, man?
Romans.
Go ahead, 10 and 11.
It says, for the scripture says, whosoever believeth on him shall not be ashamed.
Shall not be what?
Ashamed.
Shall not be what?
Ashamed.
Ain't nobody who ever believed in you who ever been left ashamed.
For there is no difference between the Yahudim or the Greek. For the same master over all is rich unto all that call upon him.
Okay, because you is not a respecter of persons. You know what I'm saying? See, I'm going to tell you something, right? If the Greeks were Israelites, there would be no need for him to say that. He just would have said there's no difference between the Yahudim and Yasharal. He's never called Israel Greek or by any other nationality's name ever. Do you know what I'm saying? That's just to sit back twisted. He's not going, if there's a different group of people, he's going to say that. You know what I'm saying? If it's the same group of people, then he's not going to he's not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to remember what Paul is stating is what Scripture got to back that. Because he's writing a letter to somebody telling them there's no difference between a Yahudim and a Greek. You know what I'm talking about? So then you got to be able to go back in the law and get something for that. Does anybody know where that would be at in the law?
That stranger should be like one that sojourn.
Numbers chapter 15. One manner of law for homeborn and for the stranger. For as the stranger is, so as you are, so shall the stranger be. Which means the law is telling you there's no difference between a Yahudim and a Greek. There's no difference. This is what the law says. And that's what dudes don't want to do. You can take somebody to the law and show them that, and they'll try to rationalize it. See, nah, brother, see, it really mean this. No, nigga, it's pretty plain from what I read in Numbers and what I'm reading here that they're saying the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So if they're saying the same thing, this Greek is not a Hellenized Israelite. Because the law doesn't support that. It doesn't support that. The law say, as you are, this stranger gonna be. So Yah was telling you in the law, there's no difference. Which of course that was not unlocked till Mashiach came. They couldn't understand that at the time. Thank you, sir. Go ahead. Lizzie.
Whosoever shall call upon the name of Yahuwah shall be saved. How then shall they call on him who they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him whom they have not heard?
How can
and
they
how
what?
shall they have heard without a preacher?
Read that again.
How should they call on whom they have not believed?
So how you gonna be able to actually call on this man and you don't believe on him? And what else?
How can they believe if they have not heard it?
How can you believe it if you've never heard of Yahusha?
And how can you hear without a preacher?
Go ahead.
It says, and how shall they preach except they be sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the Besorah of Shalom, that bring good tidings, glad tidings and good things. But they have not all obeyed the gospel.
They have not what?
They have not all obeyed.
Why did what did the writer of Hebrews say why they didn't obey?
Because of unbelief.
Not mixing the faith with them that heard it. They didn't believe it. That's why niggas you not so when you don't, and that's why I said if you don't obey it, it's because you didn't believe it. And there's no way around that. So what does that tell us we have to do? Faith got to be increased. That's the only rational explanation. That's the only reasonable application. The duck moved there, son. Go ahead.
It says, but they have not all obeyed them, but so for Isaiah said, Master, who have believed our report? So then faith coming by hearing, and the hearing by the word of Elohim.
Now pause. Do you know there's another place? Who knows in the Tanakh you're gonna remove the law from out of it? Just to see who memory good. Who can remember in the Tanakh where it says that exact same thing?
Faith will come by hearing, and the hearing by the word of Elohim.
Anybody got an idea? Anybody? Going once? Going twice? Sold the Job 42:1. Let's go.
That Job, boy.
Yeah, that Job got some.
That Job, dirty. If this gonna get me, that's where it's gonna be at.
Job.
Let me make sure verse 1 is actually what we want, because 42. Ain't no 43 in that book. I seen niggas back to arguing about was he an Edomite or not.
I know.
And I'm like, who cares if he an Edomite?
I told him that a long time ago.
They say Job an Edomite?
I've been hearing that for over 8 years.
Where's his man? Temanite.
I seen the dude saying that is the Job in the book of Job, is the Job in Genesis chapter 10. Nigga, how you know? Because it said Job. As if Job is not a common name. You know what I'm saying? They got like he had a real distinct name that nobody. That's Job. See, it's Job. It says Job right here.
But if he got a Temanite, Teman don't come after Esau, but that's the same thing.
Yeah, but shoot, regardless if it say Temanite or not, could he be Edomite? He may very well be. Could he not be? Who knows? They might be calling him a Temanite because he dwell in Teman. Make him Edomite. But
I was told that Job he was the son of Issachar. The Hebrew name for it, because it was Hebrew, the Hebrew name for it was Bo. So
that sound like I said. Whoever told you that sound like a bunch of monkey crap. Because he ain't got
said Bo.
Bo. Call it Bo. Where Bo at? Bo knows. But I ain't messing with you because you done told me that before, and I've seen other people say it. You know what I'm saying? But nigga don't really have no book for it. It's all speculation and innuendo. You know what I'm saying? Nigga try to read something into it. Same way they do with Ruth. See, they consequently they use the reverse argument for Ruth that they use for Job. See, she wasn't no Moabite. She just dwelt in the land of Moab. So that means that she was a Moabitess. No, nigga, she was a Moabite. Nigga, it literally said she was a Moabite. You know what I'm saying?
Come here.
Like it literally says she's a Moabite. You know what I'm saying? With Job, it doesn't say what he is. Just says he dwelt in the land of Uz. And it says his home was a Temanite. But at the same token, knowing the text, they probably were. Reason why I say that is because we can see that with, let's say, like it referred to Uriah the Hittite. That's not a land area. It was referring to what he was. He was a Hittite. You know what I'm saying? Or another dude, what his name is? Oh, Zalik. He was an Ammonite. That's one of David's mighty men. He was an Ammonite. Because I mentioned that because my homegirl named her son Zalik. And then she thought, because she like, I like that name. No, that's because she wasn't on no Israel type time, but she just thought that boom. Then she found out later when I showed her he wasn't an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? Or Doeg the Edomite. Like it says it said what he was. Now with Job, it doesn't says that he's a Temanite or anything. Just say Job dwelt in the land of Uz. But his friends, it puts a nationality after their name. Do you know what I'm saying? That is undeniable.
What was Job daddy doing?
I don't know what Job's dad's name is. I just seen a nigga say Job is Joab. In Genesis 10, is that Job. Therefore, he is not an Edomite. I mean, like, who cares if he's an Edomite or not? Like, who really cares? That's how the nigga did it. Who cares? You know?
I always be playing magician when they talking.
What? Because they can cast a spell on you. Zip these and whoop de woo and you go for it. Come on, man.
Who on you, boy? Lil Job. What you want?
Joab. 42-1. Joab.
It said then Joab said to
he
Yehuda,
said
I know that thou canst do everything, and that no thought can be withholden from thee. Who is he that hitteth counsel without knowledge? Therefore I have uttered, and I have understood not things too wonderful for me which I knew not. Here I beseech thee, and I will speak, and I will demand thee, and declare thou unto me. I have heard of thee.
I have what?
I have heard of thee by the hearing of the ear.
By the hearing of the what?
The ear.
What else?
But now my eyes seeth thee.
Boy, and now you believe. Because faith come by hearing, and hearing come by the word. 42 and 1. Read it for him again. Just that part. I mean, I went over that a long time ago.
My bad.
I mean, I might have not knew you then.
Maybe I didn't know you.
It's quite possible. That's why we revisit
It
certain
said,
things.
I have heard of thee by the hearing of the ear, but now my eye seeth thee.
Faith come by hearing, and hearing come by the word. Job just told you that. So where would you think Paul would get the inspiration for the statement? Now, Paul mentioned Isaiah 53, but there's another place for that inspiration for that statement. Because he said, I have heard of you with the hearing of the ear, but now my eyes see. You heard of Mashiach with the hearing of the ear, but now your eyes can see him, because he said, open my eyes to behold wondrous things out of thy law. He told Paul the same thing. Open your eyes so you can behold that just one and know his will and hear his voice. Come on, where we was at? No, I'm trying to think of the direction I want to go. I think we finished Proverbs. Nah, Revelation 21 and 27.
Oh, you still on it?
Oh yeah, what complete? I got to get New Testament where he say ain't no sinners gonna be there.
My bad, bro.
21 and 24. Then we're gonna deal with the city of Yah, and why the only people who gonna get there are the people who obey, because this place was prepared for you.
And the nations in which I say shall walk in the light of it, and the Malachim of the earth shall bring the esteem and honor to it. And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no light there. And they shall bring the esteem and honor of the nations into it. And there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defileth.
Is that not what it said in Ezekiel 37? He said nothing will enter that will what?
Defileth, neither work abomination, or maketh lie, but those that are written in the Lamb's book.
Now give me Revelation 22 and 14 just on the strength.
It says, blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter through the gates into that city.
But verse 15 said
For
what?
without there are dogs and sorcerers, and whoremongers, murderers, and idolaters.
Does anybody remember what the word dog mean in Greek?
And whosoever loveth them make them.
Anybody remember what that word dog? Remember we dealt with do not cast or give that which is Kadesh under dogs. Do anybody remember what dogs mean? Dog is someone who is rebellious and obstinate and stiff-necked, which is going to take us back to what? That rebellion is as witchcraft, and you cannot suffer a witch to live, meaning you cannot receive the Ruach HaKadosh, just what we read in Proverbs chapter 1. He said, turn unto me and take my reproof, I'll pour my spirit on you, I'll make my words known to you. He said, but you didn't want to listen and you didn't want to hear. He said, therefore I got to kill you, because he cannot allow you to live. Therefore you cannot enter into his city with any rebellion, with any sin. It can't happen. Now let's look at the part we say this place was prepared for you, because we did mention that, correct? Well, let's look at that in Deuteronomy chapter 6. School, we'll use verse 4 because we're dealing with faith. We talked about this on Tabernacles. And you commanded to believe. The act of faith is a literal instruction. It's commandment. It's a precept in the law. You know how many people going to hell for that? Niggas always scream. What that nigga told you? Hamashiach wore fringes. We got to be like him. Well, if we got to be like him, why you don't believe then? See, that's my response to all them niggas.
Why you still committing sin?
I ain't even gonna ask you that, because your sin. Yeah, but I ain't even getting all that. Your sin is you don't believe. Why you don't believe then? Where your faith? Why you don't believe, cuz? Because Hamashiach believe. I don't see you niggas seeking to emulate that.
You said the law was in my heart.
I bet it was in his heart. Same way the law was on somebody's butt or whatever else he was doing. You know what I'm talking about? Because you know them niggas go hard. Them niggas in IUIC, they got accused of a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Beating on women. I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't sit back and say it's true. I wasn't there. People make accusations about stuff all the time. It is alleged because I can't say just because this person says you beat me up that you beat them up. Like okay, Jarvis Landry was arrested for beating up his old lady. She said he battered her when the tape came out. This nigga ain't put his hands on her. It was incidental contact. Then she told me I did exaggerate it a little bit. I bet you did. Oh, you could have caught this man in his career. Yeah, they say he was grabbing a little. He said he had to grab him by the monkey.
That boy, Mr. Snatch, grabbed this point. That nigga don't got no shame.
But you know he got caught on tape saying that though.
What?
Grab him by the monkey. Just like Trump. No, not just Trump. Nigga, Jamie Witness said it too.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, same
He
difference.
said what?
Hit him in the monkey.
For what?
Just do it.
Everybody Terry Crews. Terry Crews.
Yeah, I seen some nigga going hard on Terry Crews. Like that nigga a pump. How nigga grab your
He
meat?
been a punk though.
Nigga say how you let a nigga grab your meat and you don't destroy that nigga? You know what I'm saying? How you gonna be the... Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm just telling you other people's perspective. Other people's perspective, they don't believe that. Yeah, but they saying they could care less. But I understand what he said and what his wife told nigga grab my meat. I don't care what the newspaper gonna say. That cracker dying tonight. Hey, that's a little too much right there, bro. You gonna come out and say you got the audacity. One, I want to know what you saw about me that made you feel comfortable enough that you go.
Man, this not your first time.
You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, he just got
They were at a party. They say this man his agent or something of that nature, like they know the dude. And he say Cub walked up to him, looking at his lips, winking his eye, like, you know what I'm saying? What you want? He said Cub
got caught on Front Street.
But no, it wasn't on Front Street because he never said nothing. This happened, Terry Crews, he said this happened like a year or two ago. He said what made him say something was when Harvey Weinstein got caught doing what he did. And then, you know, Cameron just made mention, because I've been heard Dame Dash said he slapped the fire from Harvey Weinstein when they were making paid in full for disrespecting women. You know what I'm saying? He had been said it, and Cameron just dropped it in the song not too long ago. But Terry Crews was like, reason why he didn't say nothing is because this nigga got power in his field, and the nigga know you're not going to be able to work no more. So these niggas feel like, oh, you sold your booty out for a job. But then in reality, though, whether it's sexual harassment or not, it's a lot of people that see things that they know are not right that don't say nothing because they want to continue to make a living. You know what I'm saying? People do that. They can see somebody higher up stealing, they turn their head. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to lose my job. You know what I'm talking about? Especially in that type of field. Yeah, you got a wife and kids.
No, I'm talking about the cracker, Adam Vinny.
Yeah, they all got wife and kids. But they also like a little tree bark every now and then. A little tree bark. They like to bark up the wrong tree.
This service is provided in high
Nasty
definition
niggas.
on free conference call HD.com.
Yeah, they would. That's what he said. He said, but what was funny is he said his wife told him that this would happen. So I want to know, how did your wife know that a grown man would walk up and grab your schlong in public?
She must be right next to you in VIP.
You know what I'm saying? Because I can say, I feel him. But boy,
I think our reflex out.
That's what I'm saying. Reflex. Papa, what you doing? What is you doing? What's wrong with you? That was my penis. I'm a boy.
Our reflex, right? Two people.
Like you have been stunned at first.
No, my natural inclination is, because you already too close. You're already too close to violate my personal space.
And they were saying he was like actually greeting the man, like they actually greeted each other.
And I'd agree with him too.
You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
hell.
You know what I'm saying? So then they were like, hold up, man.
Some type of little contact.
You know what I mean?
That'd be even more reflex. Just somebody just walking by. That might catch me off guard.
No, then he would greet them. He say the nigga
Yeah, like, you know,
walk
how
up
you
to him,
just walk
winking,
by, like
licking his lips.
You might get caught off guard. You could have been talking or anything, but nigga, I greet you and leave.
Nigga should know something.
Hey, come on, though.
Come on.
Yo, this thing.
Oh, that cracker done got dropped.
Gotcha.
Bob! Terry Crews beats up a white man. Why you beat that white man up? Because he touched my penis. That's how I look at it. He touched my penis, nigga. Touch my penis yourself, see what happened. I'm going back, nigga. I got bail money. Touch my penis. He said he gonna walk up to Adam Sandler talk about what's up with your man. I don't know what's wrong with him. He probably grab yours too.
Oh, you know Adam Sandler. I don't know that.
He finna grab my penis.
That's Zoolander. I don't put nothing past that.
Not playtime.
Around here grabbing on my penis. What's wrong with you? They say my wife don't greet me like this. You know what I'm talking about? Just out the blue in public? We do that in private.
Go put it back.
How would you feel like wife or not? They just walk up to you and grab your penis. You're gonna be shocked just on that. We in public. There's people around. I can see if we was at home. That's up there crazy, man. Come on, man. That nigga grab that nigga slow. 6 and 4, little booty. We grab more than little booty.
Nobody say nothing about no booty.
Shoot, that nigga was gonna grab him some booty after he grabbed. They told him what he wanted, now, and I'm gonna tell you where to put it.
6 and 4.
Nasty nigga.
It says, "Hear, O Yasharal, you Elohim is one, and thou shalt love you with all thy heart, and with all thy might, and with all thy soul. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thy heart."
And be where?
In thy heart.
And where?
In thy heart.
What else?
And thou shalt teach them diligently to your children.
You do what with?
Diligently to your children teach them. And talk of them when thou sittest down in thy house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them as a sign between thy hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes.
Yep.
And thou shalt write them upon the posts of the house and upon thy gates. And it shall be, when Yahuwah the Elohim shall have brought you into the land which
When he brought you where?
Fathers, the land he swore to your fathers.
What's gonna be there?
To Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to give thee the goodly cities which thou hast built is not.
Good what?
The goodly cities which thou hast
So the first thing that's gonna be in this place is goodly cities, which you didn't what?
which you did not build.
Go ahead.
And full of good things which thou hast filled not, and wells dig which thou hast digged not, vineyards and olive trees which thou plantest not, and then thou shalt eat it and be full. Then beware lest thou forget Yahuwah, which brought thee out of the land of Israel from the house of bondage. Thou shalt fear Yahuwah thy Elohim and serve him, and shalt swear by his name.
Good, that's good. So you see what he told you was gonna be. The city's already prepared for you. You ain't got to do nothing but enter in. That's what it say, right? Now let's look at something. Psalms 48 and 1.
It said, "Great is Yahuwah, and greatly to be praised in the city of Elohim."
The city of what?
The city of Elohim.
Of all Elohim.
And the mountains of Kadash. His beautiful the situation and the joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion on the side of the north, the city
What
of
is
the
the
great
side?
king.
The city of the great king. Where are the sides of the north? That's Judah's gate. Go ahead.
It says, "For lo, the kings were assembled, and they passed together. They saw it, so they marveled. They were troubled and hasted away. Fear took hold upon them, and their pain as a woman in travail. Thou breakest the ships of Tarshish with the
Okay, that's
east
good.
wind."
That's good. We don't need no more. So we established Jerusalem, the city of the great king, correct? So if we was to look in Ezekiel 47, let's see what we'll find. Ezekiel 47. Pick me up at verse 1. Let's see what we'll find. Okay, I think she's done for the day. So that phone kept hanging up. Oh, she in Brunswick? Oh, yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, she ain't got no cigarette. I forgot. I don't know why I ain't think with grandma how she was at.
Oh yeah. What is that? And what? Okay. It said, "Afterwards he brought me again to the door of the house, and behold, waters ensued out from under the threshold of the house eastward. For the forefront of the house stood towards the east, and the waters came down from under the right side of the house."
So if there's waters, right, it's the waters coming out the house, right? So what does this take us to? Because what did Isaiah say that Jerusalem would be like? It would be like the Garden of Eden. So when we look at these waters issuing out of this tabernacle, you drop down to verse 12.
It says, "And by the river upon the bank thereof on the side of that side shall grow all trees for meat, whose leaf shall not fade, neither shall fruit thereof be consumed. For it shall bring forth new fruit according to its months, because the waters they ensue out of the sanctuary, and the fruit thereof shall be for meat, and the leaf thereof shall be for
So now
medicine.
we see that tree of life like we read in Revelation, right? So you would see how a tree was planted for you, or goodly things were placed there in this city of which you did not have to plant. You didn't have to plant any trees. You didn't have to plant any vineyards. You didn't even have to build a house. You know how we didn't have to build? Let's see why you didn't even have to build a house. Hebrews 8:1. Let's see how you didn't even have to build no house. And after that, 2 Corinthians 5:1.
Hey,
Oh,
hey,
no, she's not
calm
even
down.
gonna make. She's not even gonna make it back in time.
Calm down. Calm down. Now the things which we have spoken, this is the sum. We have such a high priest who is set on the right hand of the throne of majesty in Shamaim, a minister of the sanctuary and of the true tabernacle which the master pitched and not man.
We just use Yahuwah, but that's what we do.
For Yahuwah pitched and not man.
So now we talking about a house that Yah's built, and you didn't build it. So these were houses that, because what did the master just say in John 14? In my father's house there's many mansions. I go to prepare a place for you. That's what the law said, that there were homes there that you didn't build. You know what I'm saying? So that means he has a place built for each and every last one of us. 2 Corinthians 5:1. Well, you all right, boy? You around there a little animated out there. Nigga walking past, pointing real hard. 2 Corinthians 5:1.
For we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle were dissolved, we have a building of Elohim and a house not made with hands, eternal in Shamaim. For this we groan earnestly desiring to be clothed.
We have a
upon-
tabernacle where? Read that again. Start over to the top.
It says, for we know that if our earthly house of the tabernacle were dissolved, we have a building of Elohim.
We have a what?
A building of Elohim.
A what?
A house not made with hands.
So this house already built for you. So we didn't look at a tree because it's not a lot of things that mention vineyards in New Jerusalem. You understand what I'm saying? But Eddie said it was a goodly city with goodly things. You know, the tree of life is a goodly thing. You know what I'm saying? That water of crystal of pure life is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Everything that's contained in that city is a good thing. He said there's houses built in it that you didn't build. He's telling you that right there. Did you build that? Read that again, because we got to add, did you build this heavenly house or did Yahuwah build it?
It says, for we know that if our earthly house of the tabernacle was
So you have this
dissolved,
earthly house. Did you build this house? You could say for practical reasons you did, because you procreated with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Somebody built that. Man built this, so to speak. Even though man didn't build it, because man didn't create the first man. But in practical instance, you could say man built it because you procreated with somebody to produce a child. You know what I'm saying? But let's look at the next thing he say. But did you build this house? Now, of course, literally, no, you didn't build this house. You know what I'm saying? It's forth as your earthly tabernacle. But we're just speaking practically. Because if you was talking to somebody who didn't believe in God, they're going to say, I did build it. Because I'm God. Because I create.
I gave life.
I give life. I'm a womb man. That's what them Egypt niggas say. See, I feel like a lot of them Egypt niggas say that's what they say. I'm God, or I'm the womb man. But all that is, that's your Egypt talk for I hate y'all.
And I love them.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know them niggas quick to scream, the black woman is God. The black woman is God.
Wicked nigga.
I seen a nigga the other day, that wicked nigga talk. I seen a nigga say this the other day. I died laughing. I don't know if it's true because I didn't research it. That nigga say, you niggas right here talking about Yanni. Yanni ain't no vagina. That's the blood of the Hindu god. Chris, I said, but that nigga a fool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't research it. But he could very well be true because Yanni is a Hindu tantric term. You know what I'm saying? So if you know that it's a term coming from another culture, Yanni is what niggas use to say vagina. Yoni, Yanni, it's all the same. It's still spelled Y-O-N-I. And either way it go, it's gonna take you back.
Pronounce it either way.
Either way it go, you're gonna take it back to them niggas with them red dots in their forehead. Cause then you had them women sell them Yanni beads, you know, put a little stuff in the vagina, take all the stuff out.
Yeah,
Look.
What he say? What he say?
I wasn't know for real.
Yeah, I couldn't understand what it said. You know, T was selling.
I was just
things.
looking at y'all face. That's all. It said everything.
There's this lady on, think about what you said, there's a lady on Instagram, she be selling the beads you talking about to clean the
Yeah, T used to sell them. She might still do.
You caught some? That was funny. I was talking for a gift though.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. You can make some money because you can get them and you could sell them for like $7 and still make a profit. Because you could get them for like $1 or $2, depending on where you copy from, or you can sell them for $20-$30 and they gonna buy them. I told you, man, that nigga used to sell them things. I was with it too. I was gonna put plenty of money behind on it. I was gonna shoot. You, Who? I had to get nothing on it. I just shoot you the bread. You do your thing. Get that bread, baby. Do your thing. That's what you want to do. Hey, I was already thinking like this here. I'm already in my mind. I ain't tell you no lie. In my mind, I'm like, shoot. I shoot a 3. We gonna make 17.
Hot beans. Hot beans.
And she wanna sell them that high. Which and I was cool with that. You know what I mean? But shoot. Nigga, we just talked about this the other day. If it were permissible, nigga, I'd be slinging weed like rocks. Like rocks. Nigga, what you want? Remy? Brazilian? Late front? Cool.
That's why I turned down and all. You got more weed bottle.
Nigga, them hoes buying that jump, boy.
Wet and wavy.
Wet and wavy.
Soft and moist.
Soft and moist. Soft and moist. Mike Wallace. Mike Douglas. Mike Douglas. He the only man that made me Mike Douglas. So what out of Austin? What you mean? Nigga, if I could package up NyQuil, I sell it to a nigga, I make a margin on it.
My homeboy used to do that during tax time. You selling weed.
Shoot, I'm selling weed year round, baby.
That's what we went to the thing.
Yeah, I already know. I'm selling weed year round. Year round. Selling weed tag time, nigga. I'm selling weed, nigga. One thing for certain and two things for sure. Boy, a black woman don't care what the economy look like. Boy, that weed getting touched up. I don't care how she get it done, whether it's natural, whether it's weed, whether it's a fade, it don't make no difference. Well, they forget something done to their head, boy.
At all costs.
At all costs. Like this here, she may not eat, the kids gonna eat beanies and weenies, but that head gonna be done. You know what I'm talking about? That head gonna be done. What? Some of these hoes out here selling booty for that weed.
I need you to watch my baby.
I need you to watch my baby. I gotta run around here and meet Mr. Johnny.
I gotta run around into the real quick, baby.
They ain't gonna tell you to. I gotta go meet somebody.
I need to get my hair done.
Straight up and down. Boy, you got some weave out here cost almost a stack. You know what I'm talking about? I want to know what they did with that hair. Where did that hair come from? A stack?
I said last about 6 months a year.
Yeah, it do.
Take it out. Put it
I tell you what, work. If it wasn't for Yahuwah, boy, slang it. Truth be told, if it wasn't for Yahuwah, I'd have a dispensary and all. Praise the Lamb for the word, though. I said, who? What? Well, I picked that white boy up from California. That nigga say it's just nothing to ask for weed in California. You know, everybody does it. Straight up and down. I believe him though. You know what I'm saying? I believe him though, because Cali, that's their culture. You know what I'm saying? They were the first state to have medicinal marijuana. You know what I'm talking about? So a nigga hear somebody you don't know or pick up on an Uber ride, say, where I can get the weed at? You gonna be, the police. Once he said he was in California, oh, you straight, cuz. You straight. I already understand. Because they used to that. They not worrying about nigga being a police going to jail for asking a nigga where the weed at. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how they live. They walk around with weed. They walk around smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I mean with sometimes you have to be cognizant of somebody's culture, where they come from. It could give you an inkling on the things that they say and the things that they do. Then you might not get as agitated. Because if you, like I say, this crack get in the car, man, you know where to get the weed at? First thing I would say, he said, you know, I'm from California, man. It's hard to get some weed out here, man. California, I already understand. Before I even had a chance to ask him where he from, he telling me, it's nothing to get weed in California. But it's not though. It's not though. Because that's their culture. And that's what I meant when you dealing with an IUIC. If you already know their teachings and their doctrine, it's easier to deal with them. It's easier to deal with GMS. Like I will say, out of all of them, ISUPK the most civil out of all of them. To be dead honest though, because they will have a civil conversation with you. They only get rowdy if you get rowdy, like trying to act like you want to fight or something. You know what I'm saying? Most of them boy kids, they sell under good control, because that's how they talk. They're taught to be that disciplined and not act like a fool out there on that street. You know what I'm saying? They might yell and cuss people out because that's how they talk. But I'm talking about like really, while they talking to you one-on-one and you carrying yourself like a man, then they will talk to you like a man and give you that due respect. I can say that. I ain't never seen none of them boys they do on the internet though. On the internet though, them niggas get out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas call a nigga all type of names. Ho boy, B-boy. I'm like, come on my nigga. Now if a nigga was to go ahead and pull a pistol off and hit him, slap the fire from you, you'd think he wrong.
You see that? See, that's righteous.
Oh yeah. Oh these niggas, all these. I done seen several people share it where they got all these white people bowing down, kissing their shoes. Man, if you don't tell this person to get up, he said that white man was righteous because he got down on his feet and kissed his shoes.
See y'all, this is a righteous brother. See,
that's a righteous.
That's a righteous.
He did say that. That's a righteous brother.
That cracker got down on his knees and kissed all their boots.
Kiss like, all their
man to go around there and get his boots kissed.
Yeah, they sitting around there. Nigga,
they go in there and get your boots.
Sounded like how nigga when they was legit and you had a freak go to the house. Go in the room, go get your turn, what's your turn?
Bro, for real. And he was down there
kissing every man boot. And that nigga say that's a righteous man right there. That man could be wicked in the day long. He right because he kissed your feet.
And you wicked too.
No good bastard you. Come on, man.
That just had me like, dang.
I seen a white woman.
Huh?
I seen a white woman.
A white woman? A white man, big cracker. And tell them they want in the truth. Yeah. 2 Corinthians.
We'll read it again.
It says, for in this we groan and earnestly desire to be clothed upon with thy house, which is from Shammai.
So this is a house that you didn't build. Now let's look at Ezekiel 47 and 22. We finna get ready to wrap up in a minute anyway. Go ahead. 21 is good.
It says, so shall ye divide this land according to the tribes of Yasharal, and it shall come to pass that ye shall divide it by lot for an inheritance unto you and to the stranger that sojourneth among you.
So the stranger got a right to an inheritance in the land too. See, the dudes don't like to talk about this.
Which shall beget children among you.
And they say they'll have children among you too.
And they shall be among you as born in the country.
That's one and what?
Among you born in
now go get Ephesians 2 and 17, and this where you will see why Paul would make this statement. Like I told y'all before, and we still got to deal with this. But we're going to be dealing with the law for a long time. Ezekiel 40 through 48 is New Jerusalem. It's New Jerusalem. That's what that is. The whole thing, everything about it. You know what I'm saying? He's getting the vision of the kingdom. So of course he's going to give him visions of animal sacrifices and things of this nature. Because if he showed him a temple and all of these other things and not with that, then he's going to be like, what's going on? Because this man is he wasn't supposed to understand that this is not going to actually do this. Niggas don't have that type of brain. They talking about if Jesus is the last sacrifice, why is there going to be sacrifices in the kingdom? Mm-hmm. If you really think sacrifice is going to be in the kingdom, I've officially seen an idiot. But you got to remember that's in the New Testament, so they don't ascribe to that. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, I got precepts to it. Dudes that tell me, if you don't believe in the New Testament, why would I have a conversation with you? You know what I'm saying? You don't see me. I do that plenty of times. Like, bro, I don't want to talk. I'm straight. You know what I'm saying?
But the one thing that came to my head with that is like with Daniel, he said sacrifice is going to be cut off.
It does.
That's the only thing I would.
It does. But they believe that when another temple will be built, it'll be reinstituted, and Ezekiel is they strengthen that. Go ahead.
Ephesians
2 and 17.
It says, and it came and preached shalom to you that were far off, and to them that were not. For through him we both have access by one ruach unto the Father. Now so therefore ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens.
Ain't that what Ezekiel 47 just said?
In the household of Elohim.
Is that not what Ezekiel 47 just said? Then that's where the man got it from. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's the stuff I be talking about. I do be talking. Where you think he got this stuff from? I seen a nigga the other day say Paul's letters were just letters written to the people at those particular congregations because he was talking about, should somebody ask, is there a law to say your head got to be covered when you pray in the prophesying? And he said, you got to understand the historical, no script was prophet. None. You know what I'm saying? Just a nigga running his mouth. The same nigga that told me that you don't have to validate the New Testament with the Old Testament, and he's considered to be one of the top teachers in Israel amongst a lot of people. I personally believe he's pure trash. It's my personal opinion. Nothing against him personally, but I've heard you go and I wasn't impressed. You know what I'm saying? Not at the way that niggas ride his nutsack. I can't say that he is an accomplished debater. I will give him that. But debating and preaching are two different things. And when you tell me you a preacher of the word and you tell me you don't need a witness to because what he was trying to justify was women preaching. And he tried to read the verses in Luke 8 where those women came and ministered. I'm like, bro, minister just means to serve, cuz. It just means to serve. That's all it means, cuz. That doesn't mean you're preaching, because I can minister right now. If you go rub your wife's feet, you just ministered under her. Did you preach the word to her? No. You know what I'm saying? Because they were trying to say a woman could be a deaconess. I'm like, that word doesn't even exist in this book. That word ain't even supposed to say deacon. It's supposed to say minister. There's no such thing as a deacon. You have no text for deacon. You know what I'm saying? You don't know.
I see they got deacons, because I used to hang around.
A lot of congregations do.
That man Deacon shot you.
That nigga name what? Shot you. I shot you.
The dude with the big old beard, man.
I don't know that nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shit, I don't know none of them niggas. But all I know is I thought that nigga said that nigga named Mr. I Shot You. What? You know what's funny? Them niggas get themselves all them names and then be like, our Lord Jesus Christ. How? That's the part that tripped me out. I don't even care if you don't know no Hebrew. But I would think if you would give yourself a Hebrew name, then clearly you wouldn't use Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Clearly I was wrong. You know, so clearly I'm an idiot. So let's neither here nor there. But they use deacon because you can read that in English. You know what I'm saying? But you can't actually go in the text and find anyone ever being called a deacon. Can't find it. You can find pastor. I remember Hebrew dude told me the word pastor is not even in the Old Testament. I say, boy, what book you been reading? It's all through Jeremiah. Matter of fact, Jeremiah is the majority place of where it's used. It's not used in many other places outside the book of Jeremiah. He said the pastors have been brutish. You know what I'm saying? And Ezekiel, when he referred to a pastor, he called him a shepherd. You know what I'm saying? But what do I know? Come on, man. Yeah, we are. Come to Ezekiel chapter 48 and verse 30. Because what we're looking at is, remember it said in Hebrews 11 where we began at early, is that he prepared a place for them, right? So we just looking at the place that's already been prepared if you would listen to his messenger. Because New Jerusalem has already been prepared for you. If you just listen, we still got to finish Ezekiel 37. So let's finish that first.
37?
Yeah, because we got to tie that back into he made a covenant with Abraham in Genesis 15. And that he promised them that land like we read. So we got to finish Ezekiel 37 to justify that. Praise y'all for the word. You know, that's one thing we got to do. If we mention something, we got to tie the whole thing up. Everything got to get tied up in a little bow. Well, you all right, boy. Well, you know, I was at the barbershop the other day. I seen a little boy getting a perm. No trip, dog. He was cutting him up, though. Cuz did it perm where he wasn't straight. You know what I'm saying? He just had a little wave. Yeah, it looked like it was texturized. It looked nice, though. I ain't being funny either. My homeboy telling him, boy, you better wash that boy head. He said, that truck finna burn. I forgot he used the line from the Temptations. He said, which one you want? I told him,
you like the New Yorker.
Nah, I think that's what he said. You better sit back and get him right like before he be like Malcolm with his head in the toilet.
Saying so a perm burn like that too?
Oh yeah, perm will burn your whole scalp. You don't get that junk up out your head.
Like what?
It's made with lye.
I mean, you make soap with lye, so soap don't burn. I ain't never had a perm, so I'm just saying it's made with lye. I'm like, okay, it's the chemicals.
All I know this here, boy, if a perm say wash out in 10 minutes, don't wait 11. Yeah, you really want to get it out of there about 7.5. Cause 10 he gonna start to tingle. And
They say the longer you leave it in, the straighter it get. Right? And what you want to straight?
No, the longer you leave it in, it's not the straighter it get. The longer you leave it in, the more it's gonna burn.
Oh.
Be around here patching.
A patch, jump on.
I'm talking about patch here, patch there, patch there. Them perms burn, boy.
You done got laid down?
No, I've been around plenty of women who have. Them niggas like this here. Wash it out, wash it out.
I know some niggas say they have perms so they can get braids. So that relax.
No, they get it perm for braids. I told you, man, the girl that used to braid my hair, she.
Oh, see, I ain't. Okay, see, I ain't putting it on. I thought relax was a different process.
No, it's the same thing. She used to get the blowout comb, and she used to blow my hair out the way it looked like it was permed, and then she would braid it. Yeah, I see. Now I had one chick. She did the hot comb. Yeah, them had to, like I said, man. If I get my hair braided, bro, if they not gonna straighten my hair before they braid it, then you're not braiding my hair.
And it make it longer.
Yeah, it make it look cleaner and they last longer.
Why you laughing? You look at him with braids? Oh, I get what you're saying. That's always been that left hand.
It'll make your hair longer, but it make it last longer.
I don't try that. You know, when I keep my hair in the straight neck. You know, because if you get your hair, you blow it out, and then it gets straight, get it thinned out, and it'll come out, and it won't grow.
I ain't had that problem.
You ain't got it relaxed before?
Nah, I ain't never had that.
I ain't had that problem. She blew mine out every time. You know what I'm talking about? Every time. Every time. I ain't know nothing about it. Fat boy was getting his hair braided. My hair started growing out. The same lady that would braid his hair, that's who did mine, and she did it. And after that, oh yeah, that has to be done, or you can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Oh yeah, every time. Every time. Oh no, see, them were locks. Them wasn't. The locks were braided too. But I'm talking about regular braids. I'm talking about, and I used to get them rebraided every 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? John used to be like, man, you worse than a woman, bro. You always getting your hair done. That's you, nigga. I'm finna get my junk done, nigga. She do it. I got the money. I want something different, nigga. Straight up. I'm finna go holler at her.
You had the AI?
Oh no, I don't do no straight bites. You can braid. It's gonna be braided to the back, but it's got to be a design. You don't put no design in it. Take it out.
AI used to have some
Yeah, but no, nigga, ain't no.
I mean, you know, when he first came, when he started getting some money.
Straight bites. No straight bites over here, baby. Now with the locks though, that was
the carpet.
Yeah, he had an afro, cause he didn't have no braids in college.
Yeah,
That nigga had a bald head in college. No, that nigga had time. That nigga had a bald head, nigga, from our freshman year. Bald. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he did. I mean, I watched that nigga all 3 years he played. I had a jersey. Paid for it. About 50, $60. We had all of them back then, though. Vince Carter. Man. No, nigga, I had a KFC, nigga. In Dixie. Going to buy that. Nigga, I'm in high school. What you mean? You know what I'm saying? But, with them braids, though, that was Maria Nail did my hair with that. And with the locks, though, preferably, I like to get them retwisted once a month. You know what I'm saying?
What's that?
Straight them down. The same way as long as, so see now sometimes I just have to stop and go do it. But a haircut, 2 weeks, 3 at the most, you know what I'm saying? And 3's pushing it. If it's a low cut, oh yeah, that's every 2 weeks, if possible. Every other week, you know what I'm saying? Then if you get some real bread, you can be like Dame them and Puff them. You know what I mean? Them niggas get their hair cut every 2-3 days.
That's damn.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. I ain't mad at you at all.
You clean though.
Ain't mad at you at all. They be like this here, boy. That nigga didn't say that nigga hair don't grow. It don't grow. But it's different though. Like you say, entertainers or people who in the public all the time. You can't walk around without a haircut.
Yeah, they be saying they be having a barber on tour.
Yeah, they do, cause shoot, can't walk around without no haircut. Nigga, I done seen interviews with Puffy sitting in his office, nigga cutting his hair. You know what I'm saying? That nigga brought this nigga to the offices, nigga, I need a haircut now. But you know this nigga paying the nigga though. You know what I'm saying?
They ain't that much pay for no barber, don't seem like.
No, I mean, but those people, they gonna pay him. Them niggas will pay you. Like it ain't even on some old, oh, I'm gonna tax you. Like them niggas know, especially if I got you on call or bringing you here or bringing you there, they gonna toss these niggas racks. You know what I'm saying? They don't toss them niggas racks. And the nigga know, if I call you about the blue, I need you to come to my office to cut my hair. This nigga know he finna shoot you $300-400.
They got the barber shop I go to, he cut the hair.
They paying him
Why should I pay more because I'm a jazz player?
because of the accessibility.
No, I'm saying I'm talking about at a shop. Why? Because I'm a jazz player. I gotta
He
come
go to the
pay
shop and charge, but he go down to the stadium on game day and cut their hair.
I shoot you too.
Now ain't no tell. Them niggas knowing they already ready to pay this nigga more.
At least at the head, at least at the minimum, because I'm getting up.
Yeah, they already know. They ready to do it. Like they don't sit back and look at, oh, I'm only gonna get a nigga 20. They be like, this here shoe, boy. I know I can hit bro up, bro. Gonna come out here game day. This, that, then the third. They gonna pay him.
Yeah.
Switch out.
He done left the shop.
Switch out.
Come on, man.
Just asking.
Ezekiel 48. Where we at? Ain't Ezekiel 48.
37.
37. Finish that. Start at verse 22.
It says, and I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Yasharal, and one king shall be the king to them all. And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all. Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions.
No sin gonna be there.
But I will save them out of all their dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and I will cleanse them.
And also, when you see that there, when he said that earthly tabernacle be dissolved, I'm going to save you from this natural body of which you have sinned and give you a new one. And then I'm going to cleanse you with clean water. Go ahead.
So they shall be my people, and I will be their Elohim.
Because you can't be y'all people and be no transgressor. Come on.
And David, my servant, shall be king over them, and they shall have one shepherd. They also shall walk in my judgments and observe my statutes.
To do what? This is the problem. That means they're going to obey this man's law. They're going to obey it. Go ahead.
And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob, my servant.
So if these people over there in that land say they the people and they breaking the man's law, then you not the people he talking about here. Cause check this out, right? The book say when Yah delivered them, guess who gonna be there with them? Ain't no God over there. Ain't nothing but some long-nosed white people and some Arabs. Sodomy parades, booty brigades, walking down Jerusalem. Booty parades. Go ahead.
It says, and they shall dwell in the land that I have given to Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein, even they and their children and their children's children forever. And my servant David shall be their prince forever. Moreover, I will make a covenant of shalom with them.
He'll make a what?
A covenant of shalom with them.
So it'll be peace there.
It shall be an everlasting covenant with them, and I will place them and multiply them, and will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forevermore.
Ain't no sanctuary over there. And his sanctuary be Mashiach. Because we just read that in Hebrews 8. Is there a sanctuary there? Somebody lying in.
And my tabernacle also shall be with them. Yea, I will be their Elohim, and they shall be my people.
So did he say his house is going to be with them?
And the heathen shall know that I, Yahuwah, do sanctify Yasharal when my sanctuary.
So then it say the heathen will know that Yahuwah set them apart. We don't know Yahuwah set them people apart. We know the United Nations put them there. We know Harry Truman put them there, because I believe that's who was president at the time. Well, not Harry Truman put him there, but he was president of the United States at the time. Come on to Ezekiel 48:31.
He be alright. He don't want to hear no one.
He ain't gonna do nothing but come with a bunch of monkey crap. Try to justify himself.
48:31. And the gates of the city shall be after the names of the tribes of Yasharah. 3 gates northward, 1 gate Reuben, 1 gate Yehuda, 1 gate.
Is there any
Levi.
gates over there at the name of the children of Yasharah?
And at the east side, 4,500. And 3 gates, 1 gate Joseph, 1 gate Benjamin, and 1 gate Dan. And on the south side, 4,500 measures of 3 gates, 1 gate of Simeon, 1 gate of Issachar, and 1 gate of Zebulun. And on the west side, 4,500 with their 3 gates, 1 for Gad, Asher, and Naphtali. And it was round about 18,000 measures in the name of the city. That day shall be Yahuwah is there.
Oh, he's supposed to be there. Well, everything in it that was already prepared for you. Homes. We didn't even read the part about the well. But you know Isaiah 12 tell you to draw waters out the well of salvation. So the well of salvation is that gonna get me Revelation 22. Probably about 17.
It say the Ruach and the bride say, come, and let them that hear say, come, and let him that is athirst come, and whosoever will, let him take water of life freely. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of this prophecy of the book. If any man shall add to these things, Elohim add unto him the plagues that are written in the book. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, Elohim shall take away his part out of the book of life, and out of the Kadesh city, and from the things which are.
I was going to say the same thing.
So y'all gonna disrespect me?
No, I was gonna carry you running because you went past what I wanted anyway. But that was cool. I didn't let you keep going. That wasn't no joke. She was gone a long time. You had boo boo. Is that what you want to call it?
So ain't nobody gonna address me.
But notice how he said that he drank that water of life. That's what he said, right?
What he said?
Give me Revelation 21:1. Your feelings hurt?
Oh, it's the word. Right.
It's hot in here compared to out there.
So using that stall is hot enough.
That's where he was at. Straining and manning.
21.
Niggas, what that boy there doing? Nigga walk past on nigga. That's all nigga is. That's all nigga is. But some of y'all know that some of y'all might have did that this morning when you woke up. Settle. You look like you do that all the time. Just raining. Like this here, I need some fiber. You say I need some fiber. Go ahead.
21. What you want?
And one.
It says, and I saw a new Shemahim and a new earth, for the first Shemahim and the first earth were passed away, and there were no more sea.
No more sea.
And I, John, saw the Kadesh city, New Yerushalayim, coming down from Elohim out of Shemahim, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of Shemahim saying, behold, the tabernacle of Elohim is with men, and he shall dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and Elohim himself shall be with them and be their Elohim. And Elohim shall wipe away all the tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
Do you notice how it said that city was prepared? The same way how he said in Exodus 23 and 20 that the place was prepared. The same way we read in Deuteronomy 6 when he told them, before you get here, this place is prepared. Everything is already here for you. The temple's here for you, which is me and my son. It's Yahuwah and the Lamb. That's what Revelation 21 says. That's there. You don't got to prepare no rivers or lakes or nothing or wells, because I've already done that. You don't have to prepare any homes, because I've already done that. You don't have to plant any vineyards, because Yahushua say, I am the true vine, you abide in me, and I in you, then you will bring forth much fruit. You don't have to plant that. All you have to do is believe and obey, and you can enter in. That's it. Because that's what he told him to do in Exodus 23, didn't it? Just obey, and he'll lead you in. That's all you got to do. You ain't got to do nothing else. And we couldn't even do that. Revelation 3 and 10. And then back to Exodus 23. Abigail having a bad day.
It says, because thou hast kept thy word and thy patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly, and hold that fast which thou hast haste.
Hold that fast.
No man take thy crown.
That's why them dudes don't be wanting to come off their doctrine, because you see what they say, hold fast what you got. This, that, there, and the third. So they be like, you're bringing a new doctrine. At the same token, I can understand consequently, because niggas do bring new doctrines every day. Every day.
Later.
Oh yeah, whatever happened? I ain't seen your man in a minute. Post no videos in the groups. Oh, that's right, he got locked up. Listen to Mr. Steak Man.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot he got locked up. That nigga a fugitive on the run. You know about Mr. Stank Man? No, we just called him that because he looked stank. That dude that was out there living in the woods with making all the videos talking about if you had a job you was sending.
Oh yeah.
The nigga on the run. I forgot he got locked up. They got him on the run. He like Nori, nigga.
They took his kids.
Niggas on the run eating.
On the run.
Yeah, they took a kid, man. Child services took a kid. Now he on the run.
What happened? You got no job.
Yeah, that what happened when you wicked.
Your jet ain't paid.
That what happened when you wicked in the name of Yahuwah.
Really though.
Yahuwah did that and you got you on the run.
Everybody else and you on the run.
On the run, nigga. I ain't running nowhere but to the toilet. Maybe to the plate when somebody say dinner ready. Nigga, everybody, black people move extra fast when niggas say dinner ready.
Yeah, when it's time to go, we got somebody job.
What? Nigga was gone 30 minutes before they said it. Mentally, they was already gone.
Niggas infamous for that.
Niggas say, boy, they supposed to get off at 6 o'clock. Mentally, I was gone at 5:15.
What? Definitely. Mentally. And physically, I'm at the clock. Ready for it.
He just moved it after because he said he wanted to get out.
That's how I be at Amazon.
I feel you.
8 o'clock.
Turn it back to the first best. He said, my people only take a 15-minute break and turn it into 45 minutes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You see Johnny?
That guy said,
Go ahead, man. What I got you? I need. Go ahead. Cause we need verse 12. Come on.
I got you. It says, behold, I come quickly, the whole fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Him that overcometh, I will make a pillar in the temple of my Elohim, and he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of Elohim, and the name of my Elohim, and the name of the city of my Elohim, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of Shamahim from Elohim. I will write upon my new name.
Let's go back to Exodus chapter 23, verse 23. This part we'll pick up later. Because notice how he said, right? He'll do all of this to prepare you. We looked at Exodus 23 and 20 three different ways. The first thing that we had to establish that it wasn't Yahusha. You know what I'm saying? The second thing we had established that it was a prophecy foretelling of John the Baptist setting the way for this man to come. Third way we looking at it is Yahusha being the messenger to get you in the place that was already prepared for you. You know what I'm saying? But now we'll look at this last aspect, and y'all willing, we'll do it in a greater detail another time. 23.
For my Malachim shall go before thee and bring thee in unto the Amorites and the Hittites and Perizzites and the Canaanites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, and I will cut.
Now, what is this? And when we get to it is, these were the nations that were cut off when you came into the land. And this will be representative of the Gentiles and all the nations who would have trodden Jerusalem down, who that Malachim or that messenger or that servant being Yahusha in this instance prophetically will cut them off so you can enter into it. We'll deal with that another time. Probably next week. Ain't no probably on Wednesday. Go ahead. I mean, clearly that's the natural progression. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not bow down to their gods nor serve them, nor to do after their works. But thou shalt utterly overthrow them and quite break down their images.
Go ahead.
And ye shall serve Yahuwah your Elohim, and he shall baruch thy bread and thy water, and I will take.
And we will focus on that verse. If it don't be Wednesday, it'll be Friday, because he's telling you what is the sickness, death, and then sin is the reason for the death. You know what I'm saying? So he has to heal that sickness. And then he's looking at blessing the bread and the water. So what is he blessing you with? The blood and the wine. I mean, with the bread and the wine. You know what I'm saying? Because the bread and the wine is what took away the sickness, or the body and the blood. That's what took it away. Go ahead.
It says, and ye shall serve Yahuwah your Elohim, and he shall Baruch thy bread. Already, there shall nothing cast their young, nor be barren in thy land. The number of thy days I will fulfill, and I will send my fear from before thee, and I will destroy all people to whom thou shalt come, and I will make all thy enemies turn their backs unto thee. And I will send hornets before thee, which shall drive out the Hivite and Canaanite and Hittite from before thee. I will not drive them out from before you in 1 year, lest the land become desolate, and the beasts of the field multiply against thee. By little and little I will drive them out before thee, till thou be increased and inherit the land. And I will set thy bounds from the Red Sea even into the sea of the Philistines.
Now that goes to what you were talking about. The law tell you the boundaries that he gave. And Ezekiel 48 tell you the boundaries that he gave. Or 47 and 48 tells you this. Go ahead.
And he says, from the sea of the Philistines, and from the desert unto the river, for I will deliver the inhabitants of the land into your hand, and thou shalt drive them out before thee. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor their Elohim. They shall not dwell in thy land, lest thou make thee sin against me. For if thou serve their Elohim, it will surely.
So you notice that he even saying here that there ain't gonna be no sinners here. I don't want them here. It's telling you what it's gonna be later. Hosea 12 and 10, and we out.
Hosea 12 and 10, son. And we out. It is toasting.
Abigail.
It said, I have not also spoken by the prophets. I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions using similitudes by the ministry of the prophets. Is there iniquity in Gilead? Sure.
That's good. So hallelujah for Yahusha and the word.